Hi, I'm Sam here at Rick Jones Pianos with a really beautiful sounding Steinway upright built in New York City in 1986. This is the model 1098, which is their 46.5-inch studio upright. There is a bit of a history behind the model. They originally made this in a furniture-style version in the 1930s when it was called a Model P. And it's my understanding that they took their existing 50-inch upright model, the Model V, and just shrunk it into a smaller case, since smaller pianos were becoming more fashionable during the Great Depression, and Steinway responded to that demand for smaller pianos. Well, the Model V upright is one of my favorite Steinway upright models, and I can tell just listening to this piano, it has that same really deep, kind of a darker, profound tone, especially in the lower notes. It sounds bigger than it looks. It sounds bigger than a studio upright piano. And so definitely one of the more impressive studio upright models we get in here. And I thought this one had a particularly gentle, warm, maybe more introverted sound. It's more of a soft-spoken piano that won't overwhelm a small living space, such as what you would be putting an upright piano in. I would recommend this piano strongly for anyone who plays classical and or sacred music, since that mellow tone flatters that type of repertoire better than a bright tone oftentimes. This piano, it has this cherry case, which my colleagues have done a beautiful job cleaning up and trying to match the color here. This front panel here, in case you don't know how this works, it's made differently than in most upright pianos, and if you were to have it closed like this, you can open the key cover, the fall board, like this, and it will rest on rubber buttons on this front panel here. But that's not going to make your sheet music particularly stable. It's going to kind of flop around here, and that's often a problem on upright pianos that have this style key cover, this style fall board. So Steinway's solution was to allow this front panel to swing out. So in order to open the fall board completely, you open this, then open this, allow this to swing underneath, and again, it will rest on rubber buttons behind here, so it's not going to scratch anything. And then you put this on top. And there you can put your sheet music. It's better supported by this ledge here being a bit more horizontal. Plus you get a nice flat surface if you need to write notes on your sheet music, or if you want to spread out a whole bunch of different papers, as I would if I were playing on an upright. And the nice thing about that is that it also opens sound vents on either side of the piano here. The little, this being cocked forward a bit, allows sound to come out of the openings on either side here to sort of give you a more intense, more rewarding, more interesting, more inspiring musical experience. So it's a very thoughtful design in a case that I think is very attractive. It has the wood grain, which is more furniture style. At the time this piano was made, this was considered a utilitarian design compared to the decorator style pianos they also made, but I think this fits very well in more contemporary settings because of all these straight, clean lines, the right angles. I think it would fit very well in a mid-century modern setting, as I know some people have in their home. It's a very, I think, attractive, sort of classic, elegant-looking piano. So, nice piece of furniture. Also, a really nice sounding piano. I'll rate the tone of this piano a 4 on the scale from 1 to 10. As I said, it's a very gentle, warm, mellow sound. And Steinway's already known for that mellow sound already. But this one I thought was especially warm. It's not unclear or muddy or anything. All the notes sound very clearly if you need them to sound clearly. It's just that this piano allows you to really get a nice, warm, soft sound. It really helps you out if you're trying to play more softly, and it makes it sound really beautiful. So 4 for the tone. And interestingly, I want to say the touch is just a smidgen light. Steinways are not known as much for a lighter touch, although in my experience, upright Steinways are not quite as likely to have a hard touch as their grands. And that's just the way grands are made. They feel more substantial. If you're perhaps returning to the piano after many decades of absence, if you're returning as an adult and maybe want to start lessons again, and want something more modest but also very well built with a touch that won't overwhelm your fingers, I think you'll be quite happy on this. I felt very comfortable playing this myself, in large part because I'm used to playing a light touch piano at home. So I felt this was a very forgiving, not too hard touch. So 4 it is on a scale from 1 to 10, from light to firm. And I'll make the additional note that I often receive inquiries from customers who are looking specifically, as they browse our website, they'll see the tone and touch ratings, and they're looking specifically for a combination of 4 and 4. We don't get them in all that often. They don't turn out that way. A lot of mellow pianos have kind of a firmer touch or neutral, and a lot of brighter pianos have a lighter touch, and then some are bright and bright and firm. So this combination 4-4, I just don't see it quite as often in the pianos we have here, or just in general. So if you've been waiting for a piano that has that exact combination, I would strongly encourage you to come out sooner rather than later to take a look at this piano. I think you'll quite like it. The middle pedal on this piano, well, first of all, it's a Steinway upright with 3 pedals, and we get a lot of 2-pedal Steinway uprights. This one has a 3rd pedal, but it does not operate a practice mute like on a Yamaha or Kawai. This is like it is on the Grands. It's a sostenuto pedal, whereby you can hit notes, press down notes on the keyboard, and depress the middle pedal. It will only engage the dampers for the notes you pre-selected. Now, that's the thing Steinway's been doing on their grand pianos for nearly 150 years now, if not longer, but it's never been nearly as common on upright pianos. Well, it's a more expensive, more extravagant feature that requires more mechanical parts inside the action that most manufacturers don't bother with on their upright pianos. But you get that with a more premium upright like a Steinway, and really more on the later models, not the older models so much. On an older model, I think it was a special order, and perhaps it was a special order at this time, but we see it more often on these newer post-1980 Steinway uprights. And so again, if you'll see if you browse that there are not many uprights around with a sostenuto. If you're looking for one, again, I strongly encourage you to consider this sooner rather than soon as possible rather than later, because we just don't see many uprights with a true sostenuto pedal. So, of course, like everything, oh, and one more thing I forgot. The previous owner of this piano installed a climate control system, or they had their technician install it. This is the Damp Chaser Piano Lifesaver system, made by Damp Chaser in North Carolina. They are the industry standard in this country for piano-specific climate control systems. It's a humidistat installed inside the piano, along with a humidifier and dehumidifier. It's constantly ticking one on or off, really dialing in the relative humidity in the inside of the piano at about 45% relative humidity, which is crucial for maintaining the moisture content in the wooden components, especially the soundboard of this piano or any piano. When that soundboard gains and loses moisture content, it's expanding and contracting, that's moving the bridge around, that's moving the strings around, and that puts it out of tune. That's the necessary sacrifice we make in order to enjoy a true acoustic piano, but it does mean that they go out of tune with the seasons. This climate control system will minimize as much of the change as possible so that it doesn't go out of tune quite as much. If you have a really stable environment in your home to begin with, this piano will be very stable in the tuning. Plus, I mean, it's a Steinway. They use excellent quality materials in their construction, really hard laminations of hardwood maple in the pin block that are all crisscrossing to really grip that pin tightly, the tuning pin, I mean. So this piano will be rock solid for the tuning as long as you make sure you take care of it and maintain that system. We do have a demonstration video on our website on how to operate the system. It's on our frequently asked questions page, and I encourage you to check it out. It's a really beautiful piano. Please come by, try it out for yourself. You can play it along with anything else in our inventory. But if you can't make it, you can always give us a phone call or send us an email if you have any questions. Thanks.